system.
Hello.
All of that stuff. And hey, look, it appears that we
got a lot of guests today.
We already started. All right. Hey, family, welcome. This is the CSRN. You didn't even let me know we started. It's all good. Hey, what we're going to do right now, we thank everybody for being here today with us. What we're going to do, we're going to play our intro video so that you can comment and share the podcast. This is CSRN Podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. Our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
They sleeping. They're sleeping on us today. Hey, welcome. This is the CSRN podcast, or our weekend review. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I use the pronouns he and him. I'm also one of the registered members of the Nation of Islam here in the city, and one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey, way back in 2014. And we're coming up on our ninth year anniversary. Jabril Bey and Mike Leonardi had an idea to have what they called Community Solidarity Day. And I think the first event was at the Doug, and they asked me to help them organize it and plan it. Then 2020 happened, all right, and really 2015, 16 happened, and that really set everything off. And here we are almost 9 years later. What am I wearing today? I've got my beads, I've got my brown rimmed glasses on, I've got my Thanos for president, all right, this from 2020, and it says the hardest choices require the strongest will. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and justice or else. And I've got Jody today. I must have had kind of a mix-up that I thought that you were going to be at the taxable, so we loaded up 1,000 guests today. So I'm like, okay, all right. So if it looks like the studio's filling up, that's
a good thing.
That's what I thought. All right. And that's the first time that I was ever wrong. So I'm just dealing with how that feels. All right. So for you, if you could introduce yourself, who you are, what are you wearing, and is that an Irish pub pin right there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
I do events and stuff.
Okay. Don't start hating now. All right.
Well, no, this is one of the events I did and stuff. I love it. Everyone, believe in yourself, Wookie love, all that good stuff. What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. I'm the treasurer of this wonderful organization, and I thank you, as I do every single week, for y'all continuing to come back, listen to us, hear things that are going on that you won't hear on other podcast shows or influencer channels or anything like that. And, being a part of this 9-year journey, we almost a decade in. It's a long time.
All right.
But for those of you out there listening, because we know it's around, depending on where you are in the time zones and stuff, it may be time to get off work, or maybe time to get on lunch or to a job. And we want you to listen and not so much be visually interactive with us. You can do that later on. If you are in a place where you don't have distractions and stuff like that, we implore you to listen. But this is the reason why we do our kind of like pronouns and descriptions and stuff like that, so you can put an image to this wonderful smoky voice, your hand on your mic. So
smoky. All right. Okay. All right.
Some people call it chocolatey and things like that. But I am a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and wristbands and stones and artifacts and elements from traveling, from being an author, illustrator, poet, elected official, community organizer. The things that you see on me, the outward expression is I get so many times from people that are in my field. They're not really like that. They put all their stuff in their work. I am what you see. The cover matches the inside. There's probably a little bit more rabbit holes you have to go down, but I'm not afraid of what has created me through my mistakes or my losses and stuff, and I bear them to anybody that needs encouragement that they can. So that's what all these bobbly bits and different things are that you see around me. And my pronouns would be him, he, and we being that I have been able to manage in multiple fields, from cooking to shows to being an author and a poet to producer and elected official and all of that. In all of those mediums, I don't have to change.
Okay, that's
true. I walk to black ties just like this. I walk to community organizations just like this. Farm or cook the next day.
Like, how did they let him in? All right, why did I even have to wear this? And they look, all right. It's
exactly. It happens sometimes, but the more encouragement is that you can be you. We've gotten out of the era in my generation of trying to jump out of the boxes. Now we all have all these labels and acronyms and bubbles that kind of feels like boxes. So, if you decide to tell your story to somebody, good. If not, you don't.
All right.
how do you get to this comfortability and phase where you can do all of these things and stuff? You have a foundation. What is our foundation, Brother Washington?
It's our mission statement, who we are. And that's something that's highly likely not to change. All right.
Yes. It's been tested and tried. Our metal is hardened and all of that good stuff. So this is our mission statement, is how you kind of get to that point of that mantra you recite in your head.
Yeah.
That no matter what other voices or influences or stuff happens, they just like ping, ping.
And okay. And then after that, if you can give us your Black Lives Matter moment, something that you've done with us for the past 9 years that has stuck out to you. All right.
All righty. So this is where the metal gets hardened and all of that stuff. Brother Washington is going to follow up with our
guiding principles,
which is where you get tempered and make sure that you are ready for battle, because doing this work is definitely battle. And we are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer, of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence or accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice, yes, voice, to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events to help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally, yes, equally to all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
All right. That's our mission statement. And we wrote that, I think we wrote that back in late 2014, because at one point there were so many people that wanted to be involved, and one person wanted it to be a Democratic thing. The other person said, hey, look, we need to focus on international issues. And there was the socialist thing. There was
Green
like,
Party
hey,
thing.
look, all right. Let's just write this mission statement. I went home. My wife, who is excellent in communication, I said, hey, look, Yvette, we got to do something or else, we could lose it. So we came up with the mission statement. We came back. Everyone voted for it, or at least they saw me do like that, and they agreed. And here we are. Your Black Lives Matter moment. Of all the things that we've done, can you single out one thing that kind of stands alone, if you could?
I'm going to have to go with our podcast in this week, because it's still funny to see where we are right now to how we evolved. What we used to do was video minutes. So
yeah, absolutely.
Back before the unspeakable virus that we can't talk about and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
We did this every single week. So this Tuesday thing hasn't just because we got bored and wanted something to do, or we wanted to be in the newspaper. This has been our identity to meet. No matter what else was going on in the world, whether it was board meetings, and Brother Washington take off for our civil duty to be election officials, or if it's something like that. But other than that, we are here. So we used to do these video minutes live on the phone and record them and upload them. And then,
very crude. I mean, this is still, grassroots.
It's still great. It's like that.
No idea.
Podcast is the ham radio of this generation.
Yeah.
Just gonna lay that out there right there.
That's right.
But so we started like having to evolve. We couldn't meet in person because all that virus stuff.
Yeah.
So we was like, what if we just went live? He was like, that was his reaction.
You can't do that.
But what
we
if we
gotta
just
be
went
in
live?
person.
And it was like, well, nobody was really doing most podcasts are for shock value and stuff like that. And we wanted to continue what at the core was us, which was talking about our community, maybe some national stuff sprinkled in, but mainly if you can't keep your dollars, your knowledge in your community, you are failing your community.
Okay.
So we got a camera and then it evolved. We got hacked a couple times because he tried to go on Zoom and got Zoom bombed. And then we just kind of, figured out bit by bit, this stuff is the latest addition in a long line of different rooms and different locations. But to take the step to do it and not wait on better equipment and stuff was a good Black Lives Matter moment.
All right. Hey, what we're going to do right now is get into our guiding principles. And what are the guiding principles? With all of the personalities that we have, we've got Haley, which is a handful. We got Jody. We have JoJo. And hey, you see Liv Hightower later on. All right. Those are a lot of brilliant people. And how do we stay together without harming each other? We adopted the guiding principles of the Black Lives convening. This was back in 2015. There was a group of young people, everybody under 40, and they had a convention in Cleveland to help to steer the Black Lives movement in a better space. And we adopted this, maybe switched up a couple of things, and there's still a couple other things that we might need to add. I'm gonna try it out today, all right? But these are CSRN guiding principles. All Black Lives Matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, homeless Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe?
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection is a part of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing loving, direct communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in everything that we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe?
Ashe.
All right, my Black Lives Matter moment. This is from our first Black Lives Matter Awards. I think this was 2016.
Mm-hmm.
We had foods, not bombs, to help cater, but we had all this food, but we needed a chef. And I just met Jody. I think when I first met you, you were coming to, we were organizing at Kent Branch. Strange person, strange first name. Who's this Jody online that's always, commenting on what we do? and you're a chef.
That I am.
And he can't be a chef. Look at him. So look, family, we judge each other by what we wear. We judge each other by the way we look. And on face value, with my limited knowledge and my narrow perception, I'm like, there's no way. However, we had the Black Lives Matter Awards, and if you didn't belong in that kitchen, he'd tell you to get out. All right. But Jody, I'm just get out. So it was an awesome event. You saved the day.
I think I did a marinated garlic chicken breast with award-winning mac and cheese, a vegetable component. It was something else. I got pictures of it.
I mean, it's like really the people that were there definitely weren't worthy. And great job. Great job. Hey, listen, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with Haley. This is the CSRN. I'm going to say
Weekly
video minutes.
update,
No, I'm going to say
minutes.
video minutes. This is not our video minutes. It's our weekly update. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com. Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right. It looked like we played the same commercial twice. I'm telling you, that tech team, Jody, we need to do something about that. Hey, family, we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. As we do with CSRN, regardless if it's Jody or whomever that we have, we always ask them who they are, what are they wearing, and what are we talking about today? So, who are you? What are you wearing, and what are we talking about today?
I'm Haley Sheares. I have on a white top with black design, black pants, red shoes, and red ink band by Jody.
All right.
I'm wearing Jody merch today.
Okay, that's what's up. Hey, listen, what are we talking about today? Look, I know you got an event coming up, and I also wanted you to share, I think last week or so, you shared a little bit about the last event. You got something else coming up, and I think Pretty Protection and everybody that's with you have been really planning some excellent events that people can come out, learn how to be safe, learn how to be alert, and you don't have to get ready.
Stay ready.
Okay, all right. So I ain't gonna mess up your stay. All right. That's the one. I already messed up one. All right, they give me 3. All right. So today we're going to be talking about firearm safety.
Yes.
Now, if it appears that from the people that I've talked with, if you have a gun, all you have to do is put it up. That's what I heard. Is there more to?
No, it's really that simple.
Okay.
If you have a firearm, just protect it. You have the new laws where you don't have to have a CCW or you don't have to have all of this paperwork, which this is my personal opinion.
Okay.
It's just another way for us to be trapped.
Okay.
You know, and I know we have freedom of speech, we have freedom of carry, but we
Right.
also have knowledge.
Okay.
So I say, and I'm coming across more and more people where I'm finding since this law has been made, people feel like they don't need gun holsters or you don't need to lock up your weapon. But we still forget that there are still accidents. There's still children. There's still accidents. You still have to be responsible, you know.
Okay.
So today was my main thing, was just focusing on the different type of gun holsters, letting people know you don't have to have the old school holster anymore, where you just put it on your hip. There's so many different type of holsters. There's so many type of lock boxes. Although we educate our kids, hopefully if you have a firearm, you are educating your child
Right.
or your kids on firearm safety. But you have friends that come over, you have little cousins that come over, you have visitors that come over. And as we know, I call it loose parenting, where a lot of people are like, well, I taught my child better.
Right.
We've all been teenagers. We all know, we've all been kids. We know that just because you know better don't mean you do better. So we really, really, really as a community have to start locking up our firearms, for one. For two, we have to be a community, meaning that we're leaving them open. Maybe you're protecting your kids, but you're leaving your firearm unlocked in a car. Your car get broken into. Now you have your guns stolen. Now we have more firearms in the streets. That's literally the last thing we need are unmarked firearms in the streets. So even if you're not doing it for yourself, just still be more cautious. And once you get that permit or once you buy that firearm, you are taking unsigned oath stating that you are responsible for this.
Right.
So we have to really just take that more. We have to be more serious with that.
One of the things that I wanted to ask is, do you think that from what I've heard, and I'll always start with what I heard,
all right,
that by you talking about gun safety, does that make you a person that's against guns? Because a lot of people think that they're free to carry them however they wish that they could carry them. And does that mean that, since you're talking about gun safety, does that mean that you don't want people to have guns?
No, I'm not against guns. I'm against stupidity.
Okay.
So guns are not, I always tell people guns aren't the problem. Stupid people with guns are the problem. If you're sitting a gun on the table, it's not hurting anyone until someone picks it up and put you in harm's way. It's protection, you know. Protection only is dangerous if it's not handled properly or if someone puts you in danger. So no, definitely I encourage people. That's our right. It's our right to have firearms. It's our right. But just because it's your right don't mean you have to be careless with it. So I encourage us to be responsible, not careless.
All right. So I wish we had the I don't have the website up. You talked about holsters. What are some of the most popular ways that people can keep their weapons safe?
You can, if you have a gun and instead of throwing it in your purse, I sell gun bags. Mr. Antoine was here a couple weeks ago with us. Yeah, he just came and he got a holster from me. So I have the gun bags. And if you don't get them from me, you can get them from Amazon. You can get them from Hobby Lobby. You can get them from anywhere. Just protect your gun.
Right. And in the crawler, we've got prettyprotection.com. So if you're watching this now, if you're watching it later, go on the website, look at what Haley's got. And I don't know, you might even get a discount despite
you may inbox me. Look,
right. Hey, that's right.
No, but for all jokes aside, if you don't know, inbox me. I never have an issue or a problem sending pictures or, you know, tell me what you like. And if you're like, hey, I just could never find a holster that I like, tell me what you're looking for. I don't have a problem finding it for you. You know, that's not an issue as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do. You know, you're asking me to help you protect and lock up, or get a gun box. There's safety boxes where you can lock your firearms up and then you can leave it in your car. And if it gets taken or anything like that, you know that at least it was locked up, you know. So just different measures just to keep you safe, keep you safe legally. You know, the legality of it is you don't want your gun to be in the car and then the police call you and say, hey, we found out this is what killed the kid or killed the, you know, you don't want that on your conscience. It's just a simple move just to protect ourselves.
All right. So back to personal safety. what types of people should think about being safe? I think that I think I can handle myself. I'm a guy. Is that something that I should worry about, or just, women?
Everybody should be safe. Safety doesn't have a color, it doesn't have a class, it doesn't have a race, there's no denomination, there's no political ties to safety. Safety is for everyone. There isn't a manual that says, hey, if you don't check these marks, you shouldn't be safe. Even the strongest and toughest man have to be safe. I'll use this rest his soul. The alligator guy, he fought alligators and died by a stingray.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
you never can be too safe.
Yeah.
You always have to practice safety measures at all times. Because you never know what's lurking or what's around that corner.
Right. And speaking of safety, I think, was it last month you had a couple of events that had happened? What were those events? I'm going to see if they have the flyers from back then.
All right. So
Doubt if they do.
the first one was
We really need to hire new people. I'm sorry. Okay.
we had the self-defense class. That went really well. I actually have another self-defense class coming up on August 19th. So that is there you go. So that's the women's self-defense workshop. It's a 2-hour workshop. You will learn different types of holds, how to get free from different type of holds and grabs. You will learn what to do and what not to do if you are attacked or put in a headlock. What I learned is a lot of things I see on TV is absolutely wrong.
Oh, okay.
I was trying, you mimic what you see.
Right.
And in TV, every time we see that women are pulling away,
Yeah.
and it's like, and so when I think I'm tough and I get out there and I'm pulling away and I'm like, wait, why is this not working?
Right.
And
That's
she's
right.
like, this is not what you do. So that was a really good experience. And it was good because we had a lot of different women that we didn't even know each other, So that is a intimate class where you are close on people and you are touching. And it was just a really nice, we talked and we laughed, we networked and debriefed and had it was a good release.
All right. I know I've got it on the screen. If you can, when and where is it, and who all can participate?
So it's August 19th from 12 to 2. Once you purchase tickets, location will be disclosed.
Okay.
As well. And then anyone 14 and up can participate.
That's
We
what's up.
just asking if you have a group of friends, if you get 4 friends together and you all buy your tickets at one time, you get your tickets will go from 20 to 15 each.
Okay.
So I always say, get you a group of friends, and this is a good thing for and we do it monthly. And the more you come back and practice, the better you will be at these things. So in school starting back. Kids will be walking to school. Kids will be back into sports. It goes a little later. They're walking home. So this is definitely a good thing if your child is catching the bus, if your kid is staying late for sports, or if your child is, sometimes they go jogging.
True.
So this is just a simple tool that $20, 2 hours, save your life.
I got a couple of things before we take a break. Do you believe that teaching personal protection to teens adds to the anxiety? So someone said, well, I don't know why you keep having her on, because the more she talks about, hey, it's people I know. Maybe I need to change that. It's like the more she talks about it, don't you think that it's ramping up the kids to be nervous? So how do you respond to something like that?
Yes and no, but don't we want them to be aware?
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
If you send them out into the world blind, then they won't be aware. And when it happens, it's more traumatizing for something to happen to you to shift your paradigm when you think that it doesn't exist. That's more traumatizing than to be aware and know these things can happen and prepare for them. So yeah, I mean, if
that makes sense,
it works for you have to decipher what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But you don't see many people who like being blindsided by things.
That's true. That's true. All right, so Daniel from the East Side. Those people from the East Side. All right.
Thanks, Daniel from the East Side.
Right.
I like you picking the brain.
Okay. All right. All right. Lastly, we have Black August coming up. And Black August is a time that CSRN honors all of our confined citizens. It was in the 60s that the movement started to galvanize and union and unify all of our brothers and sisters that were behind bars. And out of that came Black August. So each Black August, we have a Black August takeover of our page. And whatever that person's skill set is, we want them to post about that all day. So last year we had Sister Yvette Muhammad and Eden Garden, and they posted about gardening and growing your own food, because growing your own food is like printing your own money. We had Carter Thomas on to talk about health and wellness and how we can dial it back a bit. All right, we can stay healthy, not only physically, but also mentally. And also we had Rob Pasker on to talk about home ownership. Now, this year, we're hoping to have Pretty Protection, Haley Sheares, taking over our page second Sunday of August. So all day you can have some frequently asked questions. You can have some Ask Haley anything, knowing we know where you are, so don't act a fool. All right. So we're super glad. We're super stoked about that. So we got the first week. We may have right now we have maybe myself and Jody just talking about CSRN and how we began, how we got to where we are. Second week is Haley. Third week is Eden Garden with Sister Yvette Muhammad. And we're hoping to get Carter Thomas back for that fourth week to talk about mental health and wellness and, man, how we can maintain balance in the world that we live today. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. And like you said, I'm hoping a lot of people have questions for me. You can send them before if you want, and I can answer them on that day. You can come on that day. I can't guarantee you an answer that day, but I definitely will take the question and maybe answer it, when I'm back on Tuesday. So definitely you'll see the ins and outs of Haley's Closet, of all the different businesses I have and things I do.
And she's doing it. She's doing it big time. I don't know why she messing with us. But anyway, it's a blessing to have you. Hey, Haley, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with Liv Hightower, spoken word, some knowledge, this brother is dynamic. So hold tight. This is CSRN Podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now, we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just interact with people, especially during COVID. You still have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
Themes. Yeah, because hey, we're back live. Hey, family, this is the CSRN podcast, a weekend review. Hey, let's put these on, Liv. We are back. If it looks like we're unorganized today, Jody is not doing a wrap-up sign. He's not doing the shut the hell up sign. He's not doing the cut sign. He's just allowing our stupidity to just freely, or at least mine, to freely flow. All right. Family, I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. And as always, with the customer CSRN, whenever we have a dynamic guest, as we had Haley earlier, we ask them who they are, what are they wearing, and what are we talking about today? So, who are you? And what are you wearing?
My name is Liv Hightower. Liv is a poetry name that I relate to. And it's an acronym. It stands for Life Isn't Very Easy. And I'm wearing just a button-up.
Okay.
Corduroy shorts, some dress Sperry, some Sperry shoes, and bucket hat.
Okay.
And some glasses.
All right. Very humble. I wish I could wear that. All right. I'd have to lose at least 50 pounds to slide into that. Hey, listen, we're talking about spoken word. Maybe last week, a couple of weeks ago, there was your video was being shared online. You were at the Beirut. I think the piece was Rich or Poor?
Rich versus Poor.
Rich versus Poor. All right. How did that come to be? How did you write that? What inspired you to write that? And how long have you been writing?
That particular piece, Rich versus Poor, all my pieces is about poverty and people of that state against the higher ups, and how can we have a voice in a community? You know what I'm saying? So, I wrote a piece, say a couple years ago, and it's a very the description is like along the same lines of my other poems, but the rhythm was different. I was trying to have a different rhythm, to have it flow like water, like a waterfall. So I've been writing for about 15 years now. I got into writing when I got incarcerated, and I didn't know how to express myself any other way through just talking to people. So I grabbed a pen and a paper and began writing. And the first piece I wrote was Projects, People Relying on Just Enough Cash to Survive. And after that, I fell in love with poetry. And after that, I wrote like 800, 900 poems.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. So that's a lot of poems. Yeah. All right. What inspires you to write? Me, if anybody didn't know, I used to rap. Well, I still do. I could still spit, but I would always have a title of the rap first. I would hear a beat, and then I would write to it. All right. For anybody that do it now, I know that sounds like, very old school. What inspires you to write? What are some of the things that, well, let me just be quiet. What inspires you to write?
Like I said, when I first started writing, I was in a dark time of my life, and it's a lot of different elements that inspires me to write. I grew up in foster homes.
Okay.
Been about 9 foster homes. I've been in and out of trouble throughout my life, and I just wanted to articulate it and put it on paper. My mother was on drugs. My father was gone, and I wanted to tell my story. And at the same time, I was tired of seeing black on black violence. I was tired of seeing incarceration. I was tired of seeing just pain.
Yeah.
I wanted to make the pain. I want to turn the pain to something beautiful, and I don't think nothing is more like written more beautiful than poetry.
Yes, sir.
So without any beats, without anything, you could just have a message. Is your voice raw?
Yeah.
So that's what brought me into poetry, and that's what continue to bring me into poetry, because it's different. It's different things that just happens every day, and it's different ways to write about it, and people need a voice.
That's right. All right. For your poetry, how do you think you've been received? I always like to ask people, how are you received as an artist?
Oh, it's been love. It's been love. There's been a lot of love, and like recently, I'm haven't been too connecting too well with close friends and family members due to other things.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I felt like I didn't get that much respect that I get when I go in front of
yes, sir. Yeah.
Hundreds of strangers.
Yeah.
And they give me love. And I just find a feeling that I can't get out of nowhere in life.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna keep continuing to try to chase that feeling.
That's beautiful.
And I'm sure they're probably getting the feeling from my spoken word that they
right.
probably haven't felt.
That's right.
Ever. So it's like mutual.
Right. Mutual. They have this thing that they say, familiarity breeds contempt, meaning sometimes the people that you're closest to, those are the people that are not feeling us. And the people that we know the least, when they see us, when they hear us, those are the people that feel us. And they also say that a prophet's never honored in his own home. So sometimes our family could be so close to us that we lose that thing. We take them for granted. They take you for granted. However, when people see you out in the community, as I did, immediately I connected to that, because it's not often that you hear that type of passion on events that are happening right now. And I heard it, and I was like, look, we gotta get him. I gotta have a conversation with you, either on the phone, on the podcast, and it's awesome having you here. Now, my next thing is, what do you do for self-care? All right, that's a part of our guiding principles, and we say that we take some space for that because it's essential, it's intentional, it allows us to come back here the very next week. So what about live? All right, all of these poems that are serious. What do you do to rebalance?
I do to rebalance.
Yeah.
I know a lot. I meditate. I work out. I was working out daily.
Okay.
I was 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
2 to 3 hours every day. Going to the gym, working out, going to the library, reading, networking, meeting new people, traveling, taking pictures, photography. I was modeling. I was just trying to reinvent myself, because as long as I keep reinventing myself,
that's right.
I'm gonna continue to live. So I live through reinvention. So moment I stop reinventing myself is the moment it's gonna be I'm in a real dark place. And no matter where they put me, I'm gonna continue to try to reinvent myself. And
that's right.
That's where I find the most out of life.
That's beautiful. Right. Now, I said I had 2 more questions. Now I really got 2 more. Are you performing anywhere in the near future that people can come and check you out?
as of this moment, I don't have any shows. I don't have any shows lined up. This got done. Doing a few shows a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know. It's pretty soon.
Okay, all right.
Pretty soon. I'll give them a.
All right. Where can they find you online? Okay, I hear the producer but we've got an actual audience here that's shouting stuff. All right, what the hell is going on? All right. I heard somebody saying August 5th. Did something happen on August 5th? It's happening what? Okay. See, okay. Well, they're having something that Jody's going to talk about later. All right. Has probably nothing to do with what we're talking about. I said what he said, a microwave. A microwave? All right. But all right. Back to you. If someone wants to hear some of your work, do you post any of your pieces online?
Yeah. Right now on Facebook and IG.
Okay. Who are you on Facebook?
Go by Live Hightower.
All right, Live Hightower. Okay.
Hightower. And on Instagram, go by live.zepp, ZEPP, live.zepp.
Okay. All right. Now, before you go, do you have anything that you prepared to share with us today as your outro?
I'll just probably do the piece that had you discover me.
Let's get it. Family, this is my brother, Live Hightower. I think it's Rich versus Poor. The first piece that I heard this brother, and I'm like, man, this is it.
This piece called Rich versus Poor. Rich versus poor. We low class. Work all our lives and still owe half. I'm blinded by material, trying to find myself in a land where my kind is treated inferior. Plantation, translation, penitentiary, my evaluation, salvation, outrageous sentences for the darker races, not the Caucasians. Often find myself where the caution tape is. Sometimes it feels like I'm trying to breathe underwater with my past holding me down, knowing nothing eternally can hurt you, only what you allow. Cleanse my soul, right my wrongs, lighten the load. I want to escape the hold America got on us. Find a mental peace. Be who God say you was meant to be. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today is all we got. Yesterday is history. Learn off of it, rekindle the sky, give it a try. I prayed every day while doing 10 that the judge set my sentence aside, staring at the ceiling confined, stuck in place, but I went many places because I was willing to fly. Lord said, vengeance is mine. Why seek revenge? In my eyes, karma's coming for those who done evil. I realized the streets play a dirty game. Alleyways, syringe needles, broken bottles, all in the days, all in a phase of life. These summers is ferocious. Lately, I need some shades. Shades on, funeral again. Why we gotta lose just to win? Life isn't very easy. My guardian angel saved me. Didn't know she was recovering my tracks. I figured I took so much from this world, I had to give something back. Glancing up at the preacher, feels like he's speaking to me, like the message is meant for me. Growing up, it was hard to get through me. Drifting off in my thoughts, don't mind me. Often think with my heart, a deadly cost when you love more than others. Why those who wear their heart on their sleeve always got to be the ones to suffer? While we wait on stimulus, the government try to get rid of us. I give you facts. They say we ignorant with straps. Our pigment is black, but it's a racial systemic pandemic attached. Your eyes ever watered, wondering how you're going to get through the day, only to go through it again tomorrow. Your soul ever ache because you lost loved ones before you could say your last goodbyes, they passed away. It's hard being motivated because everyone I lose, it feels like life is overrated. But with every baby born makes you want to hold on, hoping your mental hurt by just looking at her eyes can overtake it. I'm sorry for overthinking. But it's better to be awake and aware than oversleeping. Over the weekend, I stopped by my grandma's house. She's 99, going blind. I grabbed her little hand and seen her smile. I smiled back and thanked God for keeping her alive. What I've seen, she's seen 3 times, showing me that no matter what occurs to come your way, find a way to survive. It's rich versus poor. We low class, work all our lives and still owe half. I'm blinded by material, trying to find myself in a land where my kind is treated inferior. Plantation, translation, penitentiary, my evaluation, salvation, outrageous sentences for the darker races, not the Caucasians. Often find myself where the caution tape is. Feels like my past is holding me down, knowing nothing internally can hurt you, only what you allow. Rich versus poor.
And as always, we snap our fingers. That's how it goes down. Brother, I want to thank you for blessing the mic today. Would you be willing to come back at another time and share something else with us? Some of your thoughts, some of the things that you think we should know to improve our community?
Yes, I will.
All right. I appreciate it so much, family. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. The program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it. We have to breathe it. We have to do it. We have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change. If you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed. in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
And shout out to Brothers United, man. Be you.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. As always, I use the he and him. And, you know, we just had a dynamite segment with Liv Hightower. We had Pretty Protection and Haley Sheares. She's going to lock down our second Sunday of Black August. We've got Eden Garden coming on the third Sunday, and we're just looking for, hopefully, our brother Carter Thomas to lock down the fourth Sunday for Black August. We haven't asked him yet, so we're putting it out there. One of the things that I didn't do today is go over our Nguzo Saba. That's our 7 principles. And today I want to acknowledge Ujamaa Cooperative Economics. That's to build and maintain our stores, shops, and other businesses and profit from them together. Kwanzaa is not only the first 7 days after Christmas, it's 24/7. And all right, Jody, that's it for me. Locking up some loose ends, and let me see what the producer's doing over here.
All righty.
All right.
There we go.
Hey, all right.
All of this stuff is everything.
Oh, man.
All righty. So we got some whole bunch of stuff coming up. I want to give a personal shout out to everybody that came out to the Retro Hipster Gala at the Bay on the docks in Toledo, Ohio. Shout out to my co-host, Chris Kingdale Black, and Jeremiah, better known as DJ Dankish, DJ Mike Vegas, all of the artists that showed up, all of the audience that showed up. It was a beautiful event. We can't wait for round 2. That's probably coming out. If you want to, you can bug DJ Dankish and see when we can get that set up. But it was beautiful seeing all the local entertainment, even some entertainment from out of town, and you know, have the city in the backdrop. I hosted from the patio, which you got a nice skyline of the city. What we have is a skyline at the moment, you know, and everything. And then there was a lot of great events going around the city as well. And then I'll get into some of the stuff coming up. They had also that same day, they had a Friday It's Music at the Toledo Museum of Art. There was a Planned Parenthood fundraiser for Costella Tiero, Pethood, not Parenthood, Pethood. Make sure to get those words right and stuff. A lot of words floating around in society that people don't understand. But yeah, she had her fundraiser out there, and I still have to come and see you. Appreciate you so much for being a part of the Black Santa Claus boxes and everything like that, which are still 16 more to go out, by the way. I think we talked about the ribbon cutting at Sonia Organics, which was awesome. I might be hosting a bonfire poetry, so all the people listening and stuff like that, I might be reaching out to you, and including Liv, which is a good friend of mine, on the poetry circuit here over the past year and everything. Terry A. Burton had his art opening at the Jose Martinez Memorial Gallery. I still got to come by.
I know Terry. All right. That's what's up.
Got to go by there and check that out. You know, stuff going on. So upcoming before the next time you see us, or in between the time you see us and everything.
Yeah.
Let me give you some things that are going on. This Saturday, we got Sudsapalooza at Toledo's Main Street Bar and Grill. Shout out to Phil. You might see me there in the bubbles and everything like that. If you, you know, want to come out, weather pitted and stuff like that, come out to the foam party. It's a nice time to, you know, get lost in just people who are happy. It's not going somewhere to escape. Festivals are where people should be like all the time. That's another story.
That's right.
We have a special community day with partners coming up at Tatum Park, also this Saturday at 11 a.m. So if you did miss the reopening or the recreation of the ribbon cutting at the park, come up and see Sonia, get some fresh fruits.
That's right.
And vegetables and all that good stuff. Yeah, and Eden Garden is coming in here on the 3rd Sunday of
That's
August.
right.
So if you get a chance, try
You know it.
contact them about your fresh fruits and vegetables, because it's better to put that stuff inside of you than what you can get at the grocery store.
That's right.
On August 4th, we got the Farmstead Community Night at Tatum Park. So beautification, city project, and stuff like that. Jeep Fest is August 4th through August 6th. August 5th, we have and I'll speak for the group. We may still come up and do a video, podcast or everything,
True.
but August 5th at the Frederick Douglass Center, we're doing the second annual motorcycle ride to stop domestic violence. So a whole bunch of sponsors, vendors, people coming up and stuff like that. On August 12th, I'm just going to get everything out the way.
Okay.
Hoodstock is here. So being one of the board members and stuff like that, I want to make sure that we do have hundreds of book bags again available to the public. So that's going to be at Gunkel Park this year. If you see the flyer, share it. There it is right there. If you see the flyer, share it. Let people know we do this for the community. We're not doing this because we're trying to jump on some trend or
that's right.
Start an organization and stuff like that. This is what we've been doing for a while. Hiccups happen, things happen. But if you want to get some school supplies for your kids that are free, you don't have to sign up and tell people your birth date, your DNA, and have them track you and stuff. Come to Hoodstock. It's going to be awesome.
That's right.
And I think that's it for most of the stuff coming up. There's a small business kickback with Costello Tierra again. That's this Friday at 6:00. And I'm just checking the stuff. People ask me, how do you know about all these things? I built a large connection of people to meet between every field. But also, I use my social media to go in. What events are going on locally in my place? Most organizers that are there have been for a while. They have event pages or stuff like that. So if you're trying to find something close to you, don't get frustrated and say there's never nothing to do, because there is always something to do, especially here in Toledo, where everybody is now getting the fact that we don't need per mafia and other places and things to organize as we can organize on our own. Shout out to Entrepreneurs Club. Shout out to the Business Building Movement. September 2nd. Remember, we got that taco wars going on Adams Street. And that's all my shameless plug-in. Vote no on issue 1.
Right.
All that good stuff. Election day is August 8th.
Right. And that's a statewide issue. And if it's approved, voters will require that any proposed constitutional amendment placed on the ballot must receive at least 6% of the support to be approved. Right now, all it needs is a 50% plus one. So we want to keep it as it is right now. One person, one vote. There's going to be a majority rule urgent community meeting that's going to be on the 27th, Thursday. I think that's this Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. At Warren AME Church, come on out. Learn why we need to vote no on issue 1. That's on August 8th, to protect the majority rule and preserve the sacred principle of one person, one vote. That's going to be at Warren AME Church. That's 915 Collingwood, Thursday, the 27th, 5:30 p.m. And big shout out to Petey Talley, who has been championing the Unity Coalition. Let me put it up right here. The Ohio Unity Coalition. Stop by their office at Rocket Plaza. That's on Dorr Street, right across the street from, it's right across the street from UT. If you get to Secor, you've gone too far. Right next to, I think it's Corpus Christi Church. You know where it is, right down the street from Nettie's. So check her out. Get some yard signs. We got some yard signs here. Get some information sheets. Pass them out. They're doing an excellent job of getting the word out, and CSRN is helping them do it. So come out and join us to protect one person, one vote. Vote no on issue 1. You can vote August 8th, or you can vote now. It's early voting now.
Voting is going on up until Election Day.
Yep.
And if you're in Lucas County, the place will be on Sylvania. I know that it used to be downtown, and still when you look up on Google Maps, it tells you downtown, but call if you're confused the Board of Election to make sure you get the right address. We don't want you showing up to a dog kennel trying to vote.
That's right. And lastly, not lastly, we got a couple of other things I wanted to share regarding Brian Chambers and C.D. Dotson Chambers. If you can help the Chambers family, they have a GoFundMe. I believe that the brother was done wrong. Right now, it's up for appeal. We want to plan something else so that that family could get justice. So if you love CSRN, go to the GoFundMe, donate something toward this cause for our brother Brian. He's still incarcerated now, 10 years for disciplining his son. And I discipline my sons, and no one should have to go to prison for disciplining their children. It wasn't abuse. However, the court saw it different. We don't see it that way. So I want everybody to go out and help Brother Brian and his family by doing that. And also have an update on Kawana Hunter's family. Her two sons were arrested by Swanton police. And if I'm not mistaken, the youngest son, they dropped the charges. And hopefully we're going to find out what's going to happen to her oldest son. We're going to try to get those charges dropped too, and we'll have an update for you next week. I mean, other than that, for all of the organizations that are working with youth, shout out to them. We know that it's trying times right now, and everyone that works direct service with our youth, shout out to them. You are making a difference, and whatever CSRN could do to help in that effort, hey, hit us up.
Contact us.
Yeah.
We're not hard to find.
No, absolutely not. Look, I think that I covered everything that I wanted to cover today. And what do we got for 5 minutes of heat?
So for everybody that watches the show and stuff like that, you know, I love requests over the years and over the thousands of pieces and poems and performances and stuff. The best thing is to hear, I love that piece. So one last update, if you're also in Toledo, Ohio, and you're wondering, like, where did the Truth Art Gallery go?
Yeah.
They're not on Adams no more. What's going on?
Right.
They are now at the Plaza at Bancroft in Franklin.
All right.
I think it's 7 Bancroft. So actually it's open right now. I saw Nicola. She posted up something that she's got things going on right there. But the grand opening, and there is upstairs and a downstairs to it. Autumn Janine is, I think, downstairs and Nicola is upstairs, or that could be reversed. But if you want to check all that out, the 30th, this week, is going to be the grand opening. You know, we'll have a whole bunch of people up there. I think I heard Ramona Collins is going to be there. DJ Miss T. I'll be there from noon until 9 p.m. It's a completely free event and everything like that. Truth Art Gallery relocation. And then you have Nicola's Colors, either upstairs or downstairs. I can't remember for sure. But shout out to both of y'all. I can't wait to go by this weekend and see what the new location looks like. See the papers outside, get some photos, because I have years and years of being at the old Truth location. So it'd be nice to get some updates in there. The piece that we are doing today is called Knock Knock. So as we talk about politics and stuff like that, I don't write anything I don't do. So if I haven't lived it, and if I haven't done it or plan on doing it, manifestation is a real thing.
That's
it's
right.
big, you know, manifest you some. I won't speak it. It's, you know, it limits some of the things I do because people want me to do voiceovers with this smooth chocolate velvety voice and everything. But I have to know what content you're putting out into the world.
That's right.
You won't use me for some credibility or Robin Williams or Tom Hanks love if you're not truly yourself.
Okay, I got it.
So as we are into politics, this piece I wrote as I was canvassing, because I didn't get to be an elected official by just saying, hey, vote for me. I had to knock on some doors. I had to do some things. I had to see some things.
That's right.
And I wrapped that up all into a nice poem and a visual illustration called Knock Knock. So let's begin. Peace. Knock knock. I canvass doors to convince people to vote, not for who, not for anybody, not to tell you what you should do, but to voice your opinion, tell how you really feel about your community, and be accountable, yes, accountable for you. It's data collection at that point. But as I walk through the different neighborhoods and talk to the people behind the doors, there's a connection being made, a bond between me and you, something deeper than the bond of what box you check when you decide who you want to represent you. As I see the shape of the streets, the community memories you leave on your porch, outlined in creaky steps and spider webs, laced with creative door knockers and broken bells, stamped with no soliciting, please ring the bell and come to the back door. Yes, come to the back door, but bring nothing to sell. I hope to meet the creative individual that has, oh, so many stories to tell. Knock, knock, ring, ring. I have nothing to sell. Are you there? I thought I saw the curtain move. Knock, knock, ring, ring. I am just here to help. I canvass doors to convince people to vote. Not for who, not for anybody, not to tell you what you should do, just to voice your opinion, tell how you really feel about your community, and be accountable, yes, accountable for you. I almost got bit by a dog today, and I've had 5 doors, yes, 5 doors slammed in my face. None of this, no, none of this will convince me that I am not here to save the human race. You will not convince me that there is no better tomorrow because you can't get past today. Rain, sun, wind, miles of an open doors, and get the off my porch will not convince me from telling you how to use your voice. I canvass doors to convince people to use their voice. Not for who, not for anybody, not to tell you what you should do, but to voice your opinion, tell how you really feel about your community, and be accountable for you. Hello. Can I ask you a few questions? Yes, a few questions that might save you. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. Hey, before we close out, hey, great timely, because we'll be back next week on the 1st. We'll be off on the 8th.
Yep.
Because we're not here on the 8th because we're encouraging everybody to get out to vote. So you won't see us here. So you won't have an excuse for not voting by saying, hey, I was watching the podcast. That's one person. All right. All right. So as always, one of the things that I failed to mention, if everybody can log on to our YouTube, we're trying to get up to 100 subscribers. Like, share, comment on the podcast. If you want to participate in helping us, you can do that by donating to helping us by assisting us via Cash App. That's hashtag CSRN 419 or PayPal, which is CSRN 419. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, and we do have the Black Lives Matter signs.
The defund signs.
We've got the defund Toledo Police sign.
We might be coming out with the CSRN signs.
We're coming out with the CSRN signs. So we're trying our best to level up, as you see, we're striving to do, to create a better podcast, a better experience. And as always, all lives can't matter until
Black lives matter.
And Black lives can't matter until
all Black lives matter.
Justice or else.